A gracious morning to you all televiewers. It is Wednesday, 19th October 2022. Huge thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime Flash. I am Nsah Eileen. Cameroon's Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, yesterday, October 18, 2021, inaugurated the Garoua General Hospital in the North region of Cameroon. The event saw the attendance of the governors of the three northern regions, amongst other dignitaries. The Prime Minister, who represented President Paul Biya at the event, was impressed by the quality of the facility, which will go a long way to respond to the health problems of the people of the northern regions and beyond. The Prime Minister spoke to My Media Prime Television. Let's now take a listen to what he said.
First of all, let me say that it was an honor and a privilege for me to represent President Paul Biya at the inaugural ceremony of this General Hospital. It's only 5 months since I came here to inaugurate the regional hospital, so it shows the attachment of the President to this region and to the entire northern regions as a whole. We visited the hospital. It's a wonderful hospital. The technical plateau is probably the best you would find in Cameroon and even in the sub-region. And it is going to respond to the health problems of the populations of this area. And we know that many other countries will benefit from it. It is a fruit of the collaboration between Cameroon and South Korea. And South Korea is represented here by the ambassador. We have had relations for the past 60 years. And the areas of cooperation in particular are health and professional training. These are two areas that are very useful to us, and we would want them to continue in this domain. Thank you very much.
The Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, speaking there at the inaugural ceremony of the Garoua General Hospital. Now on to something else. The people of Baturi East region of Cameroon are still in shock after a woman reportedly butchered to death her ex-husband's wife. Sources say the victim was newly wedded to her husband, who had divorced his now ex-wife. The lady, who could not accept the fact that her husband or ex-husband had brought in a new wife, resorted to storming the victim's room while she was asleep and cut her into pieces with the use of a machete. Reports say the husband and the ex-wife have been arrested by gendarmes and put under custody while investigations follow. On to another human interest story. The man who created a scene by pulling his wife out of the car of renowned Cameroonian musician Longue Longue has been reportedly arrested. He was arrested on Monday, October 17, 2022 by forces of law and order following a complaint of assault by the artist. Thus, he spent his second night in detention last night. Investigations are ongoing on the case. The city of Ngaoundéré has joined the list of cities in Cameroon facing gas shortage. In service stations, wholesalers and retailers' shops, the precious cooking products cannot be found. For days now, Ngaoundéré-based reporter Belmonzewa says city dwellers have been spotted carrying gas bottles on their heads, hands and on bikes in search of the household necessity. Note that the price of a bottle of gas is excessively high, and many in Ngaoundéré have also resolved to other schemes like the use of charcoal for the preparation of meals while waiting for the supply of cooking gas as soon as possible. On to something else. Getting hold of an ID card in Cameroon has become an event that merits celebration from citizens who sometimes have to wait for months to have this essential citizenship document. The delay in ID card supply is the reason for cost opportunities and inabilities to do basic duties at a time when extra effort is needed to cope due to the difficulties faced by Cameroonians in a tough economy. Bo Elvis spoke to some Yaoundé city dwellers on the challenges they face as they are no longer in possession of this very important document. Take a listen.
Cameroonians are speaking out about their inability to have access to their biometric identity card. Millions are using application receipts on temporary basis issued when they apply for the biometric card document. Usually, they are told to come back in 3 months, and except for the lucky ones, thousands of citizens are often forced to wait far beyond that time. I established a receipt 10 years ago and the ID card is not yet ready. Then, 4 months back, I did another receipt and the biometric card is not out. As Cameroon deals with security challenges, it is quite risky to travel without an ID card, especially to crisis-hit zones, as travelers will have to contend with security forces. I established my ID card in 2018. Till date, it is not yet out. I cannot understand. They keep extending it, yet it is not coming out. When I am traveling, I extend the receipt for 3 months. I come back when it expires and I follow the same procedure when I want to travel again. Without an ID card, it is difficult to travel from one town to the other, carry out financial transactions, buy and register a SIM card, apply for a passport, open a bank account, register a business, or get a driver's license. ID card issuance delay in the past have been blamed on mistakes made by applicants. Despite an increase in daily production, complaints persist even as some citizens are blamed for abandoning their ID cards in police stations. The police headquarters has made available numbers to help citizens track how far the production unit has gone with their ID cards.
The cost of cooking gas or cooking oil, both refined and unrefined, has skyrocketed in markets in Cameroon and especially in the East region. A bottle of refined oil now costs 1,800 francs per liter, while unrefined oil, commonly called red oil, now costs 1,200 per liter, rising from 1,200 and 700 francs respectively. Get more in the following report. The prices of some basic household commodities in Cameroon are once more experiencing an exorbitant increase after a very short while. Palm oil, both refined and unrefined, is a typical example. According to oil vendors in Kribi, chief town of Cameroon's East region, the situation is a direct consequence of the Russian-Ukraine war.
You see, everything is going up, and there is nothing that comes down. It is written in the book of the Bible that there will be a time that those that are selling will be crying, and those that are buying will be crying. So this is what is happening now for those that can understand.
Jean-Charles adds that oil is not the only commodity that is experiencing inflation in the country.
For the fact that things are going up, there is people that are behind everything that is going up. Because you cannot tell me that we are importing granite, we are importing this and that. Then that is not an issue. The issue that there are people that are behind everything that is going up. They are trying to make things to be difficult to people. So when the government is want to act, they should go to the grassroots to find out those people that are trying to block the things that is making people to live comfortable.
Nonetheless, Giselle, who sells food like Ero, a staple in Cameroon prepared with palm oil, says the inflation in the price of palm oil observed in recent times has led to enormous losses in her business.
When I want to prepare my own, it depends how I use my money. It depends how I use my money to prepare my own.
While waiting for the authorities to find a solution to this problem, which affects many households across the nation and cripples the general Cameroonian economy, vendors in Kribi and housewives are calling for a reduction in the price of cooking oil. A delegation from the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism is currently in Marua to evaluate the usage of the national languages in the decentralized territorial communities in the far north region of Cameroon. The team, led by Professor Jean-Marie Abbé, started off their visit in a meeting within with the governor of the Far North region, Mijiawa Bakari, on Monday. According to the governor, the two official languages, French and English, are of paramount importance in the region despite the difficulties encountered in learning them. On to something else, sons and daughters of Manu Mamfe division, sons and daughters of Mamfe Manu division of the southwest region of Cameroon came out in their numbers on October 17 in an ecumenical service to pray for peace in the nation and the release of two kidnapped in Nsah village weeks ago. Under the banner of the joint action of Christian churches, they all raised their voices as one man to pray for peace, calling for the release of all those who were kidnapped recently in Nsah village. Von Quinta now tells us more.
Years of fighting between separatists and the state of Cameroon has hit Anglophone Cameroonians hard. Women, men as well as children have felt the devastating effects of the conflict, with thousands killed and hundreds of thousands displaced as a result of the crisis in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon. To unearth the situation, sons and daughters of Mamfe Manu division of the southwest region of Cameroon have decided to seek the face of God for a solution to the crisis. They gathered at the municipal grandstand for an ecumenical service under the banner of the joint action of Christian churches to pray for peace in the nation.
Ever since the crisis began, we have done several things as people of Mamfe to curb the excesses of the crisis, and none of them seem to be working. We have prayed even as individuals. Monday has become our individual prayer dates for the respective churches. People have prayed, but we just thought it wise that insofar as there is power in unity, there is no need to continue to propagate the individual prayers of the various churches. We could also come together as a body and see what our prayers can do as one family.
The ecumenical service at the Mamfe ceremonial ground brought together administrative, municipal authorities, Christians, Muslims, local and traditional authorities who raised their voices as one man to pray for peace.
Today now a big day for us. Now the day we dedicate for prayers to pray for the peace of our land. Many things don't over happen for we land: the burning of hospital, killing of mayor, kidnapping of reverend fathers, and they touch our heart. Say, at this time in our history, not all these bad things that they happen. But when bad things happen, we know the devil is at work. And we not fit fight devil, that God will fight the devil. So we don't surrender with town, with chiefdom, and the whole Manu division. For God, they have said, make God fight with enemies. Make God fight with battles.
At a time when kidnapping for ransom, burning and destruction is the order of the day, these men, women and children in Mamfe believe it is never too late to turn to God for cleansing of their land and the entire Anglophone regions.
Let's now talk entrepreneurship. The casting of the 11th edition of the entrepreneurial show FIAFA 2022 took place over the weekend in Douala Littoral region of Cameroon and aimed at empowering young Cameroonians, especially single mothers, through fashion designing. Catherine Ekongwe reports.
The main objective this year is to empower single mothers through fashion designing, especially those in the conflict-hit regions of Cameroon.
This year's vision of FIAFA is to empower single mothers, through fashion and designing. That means we will go to the rural areas, in the south and northwest region of Cameroon, to fish out, the ones that have desire, for tailoring and fashion designing. So we'll do a capacity building workshop for them and impact knowledge, then maybe empower them with some materials, to start up their workshop with.
Officials of 3T Foundation, a non-governmental organization partnering with FIAFA, were satisfied with the energy of participants during the event.
The energy behind FIAFA actually drew our attention. That is why we thought it wise to partner with FIAFA and be of little help. Yes, so God be the help. I think the the energy I see in Firefa, I'm believing God, Firefa going to go greater heights, and not just at the level of Cameroon. I think not long from now we should be moving maybe possibly to Canada and other places, because I feel and I expect that is actually the program today. Actually, in fact, I was really like amazed, and the future behind it. I know we're going to go places together.
Fon Aman, a member of the jury, underscored that, though difficult, it was a fair selection.
Today, at casting for FIAFA 2022, we're looking at personality on the runway, energy, the morphology for the models, and then it was not easy to come out with the number that we wanted. We wanted strictly 15 models for female and then 5 models for male, because every year we do invite models that have been on our platform to join the models we cast. So for the male models, we cast 5 models to be joined with the old models so that they can actually grace the runways together.
The successful contestants were grateful after members of the jury found them worthy.
Very, very excited. It was pretty fair, like really fair. I'm really happy with the selection. That was like no playing over it. It was really good. I'm really happy.
I'm selected and I'm glad, I'm gorgeous, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm excited because I'm here and it's my first time to participate at the FIAFA show.
According to the CEO of FIAFA, for the past 10 years, FIAFA has empowered more than 500 young Cameroonians, especially single mothers, through their workshops, seminars and events, and hopes to empower more young Cameroonians in the years ahead.
Now in news out of Cameroon, thousands of protesters in Tunisia on Tuesday staged a protest in Nsah, a city in the southeastern part of the country, which paralyzed by a general strike to demand an intensified search for the bodies of Tunisian migrants who disappeared at sea a month ago. Reports say the civil servants and shopkeepers of this coastal city of about 75,000 inhabitants observed a general strike at the call of a trade union demanding an investigation into the shipwreck and the procedures for the search and burial of remains found. Recall here that a makeshift boat that left Nsah with 18 Tunisian migrants on board disappeared during the night of September 20 and that of 21st. Subsequently, 8 bodies, including several Tunisians, were found on October 10 by fishermen. In Ghana, the currency in the country, cedi, has slumped to become the world's worst performing currency of the year as investors continue to squeeze foreign capital into the West African country. The currency of the world's second biggest cocoa producer depreciated as much as 3.3% before paring the loss to 11,002,750 per dollar in the capital, Accra. That took the losses this year to more than 45%, the most among 148 currencies tracked by Bloomberg. Yoweri Museveni, Ugandan president, on Monday, October 17, said that his son will no longer tweet about the country's affairs after a series of controversial tweets early this month in which he threatened to invade Kenya. The unfriendly words of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the 48-year-old eldest son of the head of state, had offended the Kenyan neighbor. He had suggested that it would take him and his army not up to 2 weeks to take over the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. Now, former Ivorian President Laurent Gbagbo on Monday in Abidjan celebrated the first anniversary of his political group, African People's Party Côte d'Ivoire. During a conference marking the occasion, the 77-year-old made a first official comment on the detention of 46 Ivorian soldiers detained in Mali. It is worth highlighting that they were arrested upon arrival in Bamako on July 10 and were accused of being mercenaries. That was the package we had for you today on Prime Flash. Huge thanks for following. Details of some of these stories will be yours at 6:30 p.m. during Prime News with Fon Quinta. Have a blessed day, but do stay tuned to more amazing programs coming up today on My Media Prime Television. Up next is The Brief with Lasha Kingsley and Bomotongina Gladys. The news was produced by Modika Elvis. Stay blessed.